power over naira.
Still them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Mayegun don come.
So my people make you ladder.
Oh yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo,
My people make we shout.
oh yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo,
Mayegun don come, man of the masses.
oh yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo,
Mayegun diary politico.
oh yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo,
This one not dey off in
oh
mind.
yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo.
Person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Dem say that Mayegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day dem dey thief money in bulk. Chimo, poor man pikin dey the street dey hawk.
Still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say Mayegun don come.
So my people make you ladder.
Oh yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo,
My people make you shout.
oh yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo,
Mayegun don come, man of the
oh
masses.
yo yo, Mayegun don come. Oh yo yo.
Mayegun diary police.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Ṣídé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe.
Thank you so much for joining me as usual. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them Mayegun is back.
Mayegun diary politico. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀
Yeah.
ṣe o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Read the caption of this broadcast. Yes, read the description as well. Drop your offering, which is like the broadcast as much as you can. Remember, right? Then you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this amazing session again on Nigeria politics. That's the headline. So if you read the caption of this broadcast, where I kind of give it a rider of unbelievable. There are judges in northern Nigeria, as it's been discovered. They are judges, but they never passed through the law school. They were not, they are actually not lawyers. To now cover them up in Nasarawa State, for example, they are now working on the amendment of the law. They actually bagged the appointment or the qualification of somebody to be a judge. Baba, judges who never actually read law have been judges in Nigerian courts in northern Nigeria. Remember? That is not all. We're going to go back to Rivers State because I did ask you that if you can find any video where Kolu explained how he was going to fight corruption, I will give you ₦1,000,000. Nobody could pull that off. But today, the second day of Tinubu's visit to Rivers State, it is trending right now. Kolu is going to fight corruption the same way Wike is fighting corruption. And just for the optical, where Wike is going to be declared wanted, well, meant to be declared wanted for a missing 420 billion naira River State money. The person, Fubara, that is now the governor-elect of River State, right, happened to be, well, the former accountant general of River State for 3 years now. Yeah, it was declared wanted by the EFCC because of 420 billion naira River State money that the state cannot account for. You know, Wike has immunity. So normal is supposed to be on the run. Okay? But there is something about River State governors, which I'm also going to touch tonight. Okay? First, it was Peter Odili. Towards the end of his term, he wanted to be president. Obasanjo changed everybody, brought in Yaradua. Remember that story? Then Rotifmi Amechi, right? This time around, he wasn't interested in being president. He was told he could be chosen as the vice president. And towards the end of his own second term as well, you know the story. But he was compensated. While Wike became governor, and they launched an investigation into Rotifmi Amechi. In their own white paper, River State government white paper, Rotifmi Amechi and his government was indicted of stealing over 100 billion naira River State money. But a lot of people could tell where that money went. APC, Egbekegbe. Among the states, they were funding APC at the time. But rather than for Rotifmi Amechi, right, to face prosecution for his crime, immediately he had no immunity. APC gained power. He was made a minister. And in fact, he got another immunity. This time around, immunity from investigation, prosecution, just free pass. But everybody knows how the Rotifmi Amechi's political life is going on right now with APC. So Kolu, the new guy on the block, where they are now building power around, somebody who can give life or death. See, this is not blasphemy, okay? Nigeria president, anybody who become Nigeria president is considered the most powerful man on earth. You see, let me explain that. In America, American president, Chinese president, which other, Russian president, they are considered as very powerful, even at what stage? Sure, you know. But American president in America does not even have power that somebody who is a local government chairman in Nigeria that will commit crime against their law and nothing will happen. American president will never dare in America. Russian president will not dare what Nigerian politicians will get away with when they are just mere political appointees, not to talk of the president in Russia. Like the president of Nigeria will get away with anything. He can order your arrest. They can lock you up even if the law says no. Even when the court says they should free you. The president of Nigeria is like above the law. So the new guy on the block, Tinubu, that want to fight corruption, is now the friend of Wike, the River State governor. Like his own predecessors, is now hiding and hibernating under the the benevolent of Tinubu, pari passu, for corruption. Tinubu said to fight corruption in Wike's way is to build houses for judges. make them comfortable so that they won't take bribes and kind of compromise justice. So people's interpretation to that is, in Tinubu's words, power is not served a la carte, meaning you have to grab it, snatch it, and run with it. If they shout ole ole, tell them to go to court. So look at that concept. Use corruption to gain power, and then make the judges comfortable. Corruption is gone then. Anyway, that's part of the theories out there. There are other things as well that comes with this broadcast tonight. And the Nigerians trapped in Sudan and Egypt. 376 of them have successfully arrived in Nigeria. Well, that's some good news. Let's forget about all other stories around it, because the moment those ones landed in Nigeria, the process that got their delay stuff in Egypt was finally settled. Nigeria paid for the transit visa for those Nigerians escaping from Sudan. Nigeria, I don't know how much, they didn't say, but they had to pay for their visa in Egypt before they could be allowed to be airlifted. And when these 376 successfully evacuated Nigerians got to Abuja, from the news, so I haven't really seen their interview to say or the proof, but let's follow the news. According to their news, immediately they got to Abuja, Nigeria government gave every one of them 100,000 naira cash. Yes, you can multiply that by 376. Not just that. From what we read, they said they also gave each person 25,000 naira worth of data so that they can connect to the internet and they can reach out to their family members from far and near that they are now in Abuja. And if they need to sleep overnight in an hotel, they could use some of that money for the night, which was yesterday. So, and then some other stuff they said they gave to them that I can't really because I didn't really verify them, but they have been mentioned. But the most important thing is that 376 Nigerians have been successfully brought back to Nigeria. Is that not good news? Okay, let's come back to the real deal, and that is judges in Nigerian courts, lower courts in northern Nigeria. They have no law certificate. So the question now is, how many like that have been practicing in Nigeria system? They have been promoted. Some of them have become justices of the High Court in Nigeria. Usually, from my own social study, elementary study, social study, primary school subjects, now only customary courts usually doesn't really need somebody with a law school certificate that says they are lawyers. To be a judge, according to Nigerian law, you must be a lawyer. And to be a lawyer, you must pass the law school examination, the one that will certify you as a professional lawyer. And then you can practice law in any part of Nigeria. You can appear before judges, justices in any court in Nigeria, up to Supreme Court. Doesn't matter. If you pass your law school, law exam today, and you get your certificate issued, the next day, you can take on a client. They call it, you can take up a client the third day. Yes, you can, because you're already a lawyer then. They may call you baby lawyer, new lawyer. No, you are a lawyer. But usually for experience and all that, they will tell you to go and do some internship. No be so? So when you become that lawyer, after 4 years, you can then go and sit for the Judicial Council examination that you want to be a judge. So if you pass that, then you have a certificate that says you are now a judge. Then you can be sent to any court that they think your service is needed. So how many judges do you have in Nigerian system who forged their certificates, but because of their political connections, right, they have now become so grounded, established in the entire system? In Nasarawa State, it became so worrisome for some of their lawmakers, politicians, that they had to start a debate on it. That it is so bad that if they have to follow the law, they would have to sack more than 98% judges in Nasarawa State alone. At the lower courts, which is a high court in their state. If they should follow their law, 98% of their judges, they don't even be, some of them didn't pass examination as lawyers, and they were never lawyers. Majority of them didn't even read law at all. And lawyers have been going before them. No wonder you'll be hearing ridiculous judgments. And when you read the news, man has, goat they arrested goat for stealing. The judge said they should put the goat in remand. Zamfara judge Zamfara judge has remanded a goat that was accused of robbery. Do you understand that? Headlines like that will be coming from everywhere, and you'll be like, what's in they go on now? What's going on? So how many are they? If Zamfara alone have more than 90% of uneducated, no legal background, no law background, no nothing, and they have been giving judgment, it's a question. I'm not asking you to bite me. You go still bite me, okay? Because I know a lot of you, not a lot. Some of you are the Lagos Abobakus watching this right now, right? To you, this guy is always complaining. Why are you always said? Think about that. Because you may be the one that will be in front of another judge. That politically, their connection and everything is towards those who have managed to help them bury their what? Their secrets. So their politicians now, their lawmakers in Zamfara, they are now trying to change the law so that they can give all those judges, they can give them 10 years grace to go back to school, to go and study law, to go and pass the law school examination, and to go and sit for the judge examination or something. So if they pass all of that, they have 10 years. So they have to try and make it as law. It is that bad. Nigeria have 19 states. Northern Nigeria, including the Middle Belt part of Nigeria, have 19 states. The Sharia North have 12 states. So when Bukuari came to power, APC, Bukuari said he was fighting corruption, right? So there is this guy. His name is Maman Daura. No, sorry, not Daura. Lawal Daura. He was the person that Buhari appointed as DSS director when they took over power in 2015. Okay? So then Buhari became sick, very sick. Okay? So he was in London. Then Pastor Ruga, that is the vice president, Pastor Ruga now took over as acting president. Then the Chief Justice of Nigeria's time for retirement reached. Buhari was on the hospital bed, right, as a guinea pig where they are like experimenting on that time. So Pastor Ruga now appointed Onogen, a Southerner, as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, acting. That didn't go down well with them in northern Nigeria, especially the CPC Buhari caucus inside the APC. Pastor Ruga also, okay, before then, after Pastor Ruga appointed Onogen, they have finalized whatever coup or whatever it was they were going to do to Onogen. It was never going to last as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. So what were they going to do? Okay, you, Daura, even though Buhari no day, we have some information, okay, to say on the judges in Nigeria. They are very corrupt. We have some of their account details. We have some of their shady deals. And these particular judges and all that, we wanted to arrest them. So in the middle of the night, that Lawal Daura, DSS director, ordered the DSS, his own boys, right, who covered their faces in hood and all that, like face mask, and they invaded the judges' quarters in Abuja, where Nigerian Supreme Court justices lives. Here you get, and they arrested them in the middle of the night. Supreme Court justices, why would you do this? Immediately, their propaganda machine went to town. And they started telling people that Buhari is here to fight corruption. These judges, they are very corrupt. If Buhari is saying this, they are very corrupt. Remember, Buhari was not there. Malamu was behind all of that at the time. So Pastor Ruga, as acting president, wanted to kind of feel like, how could that happen? To show to people that this is unbelievable. Omo, my lord. Now detention then sleep that night, no joke. They arrested all of them in their pajamas. And they took them to their DSS detention, their Secret Service. They took them to their detention. Judges, they were writing statements. So the following morning, breaking news, voila, here and there, Pastor Ruga just sacked Daura. Here you get, sacked Daura straight up. Appointed, who be that guy? She na Ekwen Yonga be waiting be the guy he appointed that time as acting. Omo. The Kaba in Buhari's government, they were shocked. Like, who did Pastor Ruga consulted before sacking DSS director? Well, anyway, that was the end of the DSS, but the coup continued. So around that time, Onogen started acting as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. So Buhari was going to go for second term. And they knew that the whole thing was going to end up in Supreme Courts. Onogen, as a Southerner, could be a problem. No, it was going to be a problem. So what were they going to do? The judges are corrupt. Onogen has a bank account somewhere in abroad. How could the Chief Justice of Nigeria have a bank account abroad? He is corrupt. Boom. They just petitioned the Code of Conduct Tribunal, led by another Northerner. So when that one got that Code of Conduct Tribunal, summoning the Chief Justice of Nigeria. So when they put him in they wanted to put him in the dock, behind the scene, they were asking him to resign, or else you are going to go to jail. Look at the money they said they found. Look at this and that. But people didn't know then that it wasn't actually about whether he stole money or not, or he put money abroad, he has a bank account. No. It was all about 2019. So that was when that then when they removed him, that was what brought in Tanko technicality. A Sharia court judge, Sharia court judge, suddenly got promoted from the Sharia North as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. That was when Tanko Ibrahim became Chief Justice. It was like a joke. We were calling him Babalawo. If you look at him, he looks like all these ancient Babalawos, who have become like blind, but they can see, they see vision, all those like ancient. So it became a joke on social media like Bokuari. Anyway, 2019 came. INEC in Nigeria said they were ready to conduct the best election, just like the one you did now. A lot of people were hopeful. Anyway, Atiku and Obi, they became a team because INEC told them that with the biometric fingerprinting, blah, 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 blah nonsense, you cannot rig the election. With the Kiniko, there will be no child voting. There will be no nonsense as usual. In fact, we are going to build a big, gigantic server that will keep all of the results. Nobody can rig and touch it. They shall so disobo. It didn't last long. The whole thing, they declared Bokuari winner. And as expected, everything ended in Supreme Court, where the promoted Tanko technicality was waiting. That was the origin of technicality. Where it came from was that INEC, PDP, they were building their case on the fact that all the results, they INEC server. May INEC just bring the server so that they can bring the result and show it to the court that Buhari didn't win second term. That was the story of server. Do you know how much they said they built the Amazon server to keep Nigeria election results in 2019? 45 billion naira. 45 billion naira. Server, cloud server, where you go pay, how much? Where you go pay 81, okay, I think depend on the size, 1 terabyte size in the cloud. How much is 1 terabyte size of a cloud? If you want to say something in the cloud. Anyway, they shall call it Amazon server, Nigerian server. When they got to the Supreme Court and they presented all the evidence, how Bokuari rigged, how INEC failed, how the double voting, triple voting, and all that, everything, shall like all of you have them right now. You have evidence, Abi, where you go take to court, Abi. Don't worry, we'll get to your part. In 2019, they had all the evidence. They were relying on technology. Technology will solve everything. This was 4 years ago. So when they got to the Supreme Court, after everybody spoke, said their own defense, front and back, everything, Tanko technicality now came and said, on the technical ground, because of the technicality problem in Atifu's petition, the technicality problem where Atifu could not prove evidence, then get evidence like this. I mean, Atiku could not prove that Bokuari didn't win. But by evidence, see evidence, say no, your evidence, we cannot use your evidence. Because technically, INEC no even get server. All this your evidence. You want us to compare them with what INEC put on their server, Abi? INEC say they no get server, say you are lying. They didn't promise anybody any server. There is no server anywhere. Say the election are just normal. They don't count the ballot. They don't declare winner. Say go be me, everybody go wait for next time. So technically, they cannot say Bokuari didn't win. Technically, Atiku cannot prove that INEC rigged the election. And because of technicality, Bokuari is hereby declared, returned, and elected president of Nigeria. Now, so then renew him to from change. He just jumped to next devil. So, corruption is all about go out there, rig the election. Once they start putting people as panel judges, tribunal judges, you don't know their story. Also, where we go, and you are standing in front of them. My Lord, sorry, my Lord, I am not guilty, my Lord. Here is the evidence, my Lord. And then my Lord will turn around and say, with the evidence before me and the power conferred on me as the justice of this court, I hereby sent you to a Wongbiri. And you go come stand there. This, Egbamike, I am the one who brought case. Sir, na me be the petition, na me bring case. Na me they send go a Wongbiri. Say, because in your case, that case where you bring, in that case, technically, you have indicted yourself. Of course, you cannot prove that that person did what you say he did. And it could be you. Miscarriage of justice in Nigeria is very common. Nobody say they know they do miscarriage of justice anywhere else. But you know, if they do your miscarriage of justice, in any part of, like, for example, in America, so look at this man. He was convicted of a crime that he didn't commit because there were no much evidence. 30 years ago. Americans, you know, they like to elaborate. 30 years ago. Can you believe that? He was convicted. He didn't do it. Everybody will be like, and he would just be like, I don't know. I was live. How did you know? Before you know it, your TV stations, everybody don't they come. How then go help him? Organizations don't they come? I say, sorry, 30 years. Sorry, bro, sorry, 18 years, and all of that. Somehow, well, maybe that's just what they wanted us to see. Miscarriage of justice, right? There are people who are always like, but in Nigeria, the miscarriage of justice is so regular that they will say people are on trial, awaiting trial. They say this man, he stole a can of juice. And because he stole a can of juice, he's been in jail for 21 years awaiting trial. Because the judge will sit down and go jail. Sure you get? Maybe the guy himself no go and have any law degree or anything at all, like all these ones. And because you are dead, your papers have don't miss. There's no documentation or anything. And there are many in Nigerian prison. Seriously. Straight factor, life factor. So it could be you. It could be anybody that's going to run into them when you have. And if you find out, they say 21 years after this, so you will come see people, they will come bring you one, what do you call it? Maybe some new slippers. New slippers. They will, I mean, if you are kind of lucky, because in most cases, they will just say free at last. You go, banner like this, say free at last. Please help Sikiru. He's been in jail for wandering. He's been in jail for 15 years just because he was, they raided him and all of that. And afterward, you are on your own. So that is when you understand that miscarriage of justice is not something you laugh out. I mean, you laugh at and say, ha, it's so funny. No, it's not funny. Now, imagine how many of them are there in that Nigerian judicial system, if Nasarawa State alone. So Escobat is now going to fight that kind of corruption by building houses for the judges. That's where we're going to go next. We'll go to Rivers State, where today, day 2, where Kolu said he is going to emulate Wike's way of fighting corruption and so many other things he said. But it's also been it's kind of like after that video, a lot of people who have seen that video, Tinubu's speech in Rivers State, they are now saying, I want to see Tinubu that is now speaking so clearly. Look at I should have supported this man long time ago. See Tinubu, no wonder. All those bulaba, all those you cannot make a deposit for roasted corn, all those things, they were just doctored video. I say, now your mumu now you ain't too much. You be mumu. Where's that thing? Where's that guy? You know what I mean? Now your mumu now you ain't too much. Because that's exactly what the agenda is going to look like Boko Haram in 2015. To the point that you're like, body language that later turned to body odor and the rest, Abi. Anyway, enjoy the ride. But for our own context, okay, for this conversation, let's go to Rivers State. where Kolu, according to their what have you, could probably have been pretending that he's unwell, he's deluded, and he said, what have you? Well, I think you should listen to the words, okay? Not the extra influencers that will likely call it blue, black, white. They will call it red. And they will make you look dumb, even when you can hear with your 2 ears. So, yeah, there's been a difference. Listen.
My colleague and former governor of Rivers State, Sir Odile and his wife. I'm grateful for your commitment to time, value, and all reforms that you are about to embark upon in the country. I take a different angle to what Wike has done here today. Is fighting corruption. This is the way to fight corruption. You don't expect your judges. I have been contributing very well to this. You don't expect your judges to live in squalor, to operate in squalor, to dispense justice in squalor. This is part of the changes that is necessary in our policy think tank. We must fight corruption, and we definitely must look at the other side of the coin. If you don't want your judges to be corrupt, you got to pay attention to their welfare. If one fair dispensation of justice, you don't want them to operate on hazardous conditions. Let's think value for value.
No,
if I don't have consumer credit and you want me to pay for the car I needed at once, 5 million, 6 million. Driving temptation, corruption. But if you have consumer credit, then people will reduce, that will reduce the propensity for corruption. We don't want our judges to play foul, to compromise justice. Not just the books, but do something. And I promise you, We are going to review all of this in a policy think tank. Today, I'm concluding a 2-day and the final leg of a visit to Rivers State. I was proud to deliver the 12th historic and iconic flyovers yesterday. Whatever you say about owing or no owing, I am personally grateful to the man who brought me here. He didn't ask for a personal commitment. He asked for a policy commitment, which an incoming president has no authority to offer and approve.
So let me ask you this, because there is another part of it I'm still going to play. So he spoke clearly, some said, Abi, but let us be honest. Be honest with yourself. This is no longer like, even if you don't like him, fine, it's all right, even if you like him. But did you hear anything really motivational, presidential, or anything at all from what he said that 6 minutes video? Did you hear anything like a stretch of conversation for like maybe a minute or two? Or more? You need to see the joy of Lagos Abobakus. See you, I must see intelligence. I must see sense. He said, waiting talk. Which nonsense in talk? We know that you don't, come on, we just heard him now, didn't we? I've listened to the video before I make the cut and all that, so that you can actually have them, not, because it's like a long stretch. Or is there any really thing you heard there? For a country like Nigeria, you know, I said it last time too. I said, you would probably want something. He can't do anything. He can't order anything. He's still he's not the president. Okay. But nevertheless, what they are building, the psycho fancy and all of that they built around Bokwari. So they're already building similar thing around him. But nevertheless, did you hear anything sensible at all? Something that you can say, oh, that was good. Or if you go everywhere on social media now, I listened to Ashiwaju for 30 minutes. And he was standing there, very healthy, very confident. And he speak very, very slowly so that you can hear. Waiting talk. To fight corruption, you need to make your workers comfortable. Of course, you need to. But judges, you need to build them houses. You need to make them this and that. Is that not what the politicians in Nigeria are doing? I mean, you don't see any Nigerian judge, where they hustle for petrol like you. You don't go anywhere where you see Chief Justice of Lagos State. Where they hop on Okada like you. Or you don't enter, like, let's get serious, please. Don't you see every now and then new cars for judges? But yesterday, the state government is buying new Prado Jeep. Each one 50 million. And all of those ways they kind of steal money. So now today you see them buy them this, buy them that, building judges' quarters. Corruption still no day. Come on. Anyway, then he said, when a judge need a car, so that judge will not go and collect bribe to give a bad judgment. So if a judge needs a car, and the car is some millions of naira, and the judge doesn't have to use that amount of money, that judge can take credit. Baba, calm down now. She sense you are no yensin. Oh, get real now. Where they are changing the judges' cars as official, they call them official cars. Politicians are buying them for clout, for show off. And you are seeing all of them laughing from different states in Nigeria. But according to Kolu, which is what Wike did, he built judges' quarters, fancy, lovely place, so that judges will not be corrupt to go and collect bribes, so that they can go and build their own mansion. But you know something, the politicians, the judges or the lawyers in Nigeria, you get, they are like armed robbers. And then somebody will be the wholesale merchant for the stolen goods. You know, somebody will say armed robber go steal. Armed robbers may not be able to actually sell off what they stole. So a middleman who is a merchant will begin to actually expend them for them. That's exactly what the lawyers and the politicians in Nigeria. So if you can't see through all of that, it is like a syndicate. Well, it's up to you. But that's how they're going to fight corruption. So if a judge needs a 10 million naira car, that judge can go and take credit. Sure, you get. And then they can start paying like we do in the diaspora. So then they will fight corruption. Okay, maybe Nami no listen very well. Because this will be the second time he's indirectly telling Wike, a lot of your expectation from me, they are not going to go that way. Oh. Sure, you get. So I just want to make you know, say, yes, I am the president select. But the way you are doing all this kurukere, well, that's my own way I see it. I may not be kind of, you know what I mean? I'm not banking on it. Yesterday, when the Wike was reading, Umu Guru flyover, 1. Umu Guru flyover, 2. Guguru flyover, 3. Agbado flyover, 4. Kiniko flyover, 5. And Kolu said, thank you. But I cannot promise you anything. I don't owe you anything. So if there are bridges you constructed, they are for your people. But if you bring them up, you need to come and lobby me. You need to, then we can see what we can do. So I'm not promising you anything. Publicly, make everybody the hear now. That was yesterday. Where Wike was laughing. And they are praising him. They say Where Wike is going to be the new leader of Niger Delta. He's going to be the Kiniko. They are praising him. Just same way they were praising Rotifmi Amechi in 2015. Amechi is very smart. Amechi is going to be the minister of Kiniko. Amechi is last. Amechi leak Bokwari's asses. Bokwari's ass. So he go build helipad for Bokwari in Daura. So that Bokwari can be landing on an helipad built by Nigeria for Bokwari's use, private use in Daura. He went as much as a building University of Transportation for Bokwari in Daura. And he came second in their presidential. Do you know that it was Amechi that came second after Tinubu? How many of you even remember that anymore? So many of you still remember Pastor Ruga, Abi? Pastor Ruga came third in that their APC Congress or so. So he was here laughing. That was yesterday. Today, he decided to tell him again, listen, all your requests, and all of that, I am just president-select. So I cannot do anything. Sure you get. I am not making it. And I'm glad that you didn't ask for anything. You didn't ask for any commitment. That's why I said to you, Abi. Maybe now my ears they pay me. So we will go to that of yesterday when Kolu landed. It's a flashback for it from yesterday. Then we'll come back to the other part of this is a speech in the day 2. This one at the middle.
We welcome you to Rivers State. You're welcome indeed. We are happy to receive you. You are our president. You are welcome, sir.
The president-elect is visiting officially after the overwhelming victory in the February 25th presidential election. Your Excellency, sir, you are a rare gem and a blessing to Rivers State. You are finishing well as the most outstanding best governor in infrastructure development, an authority in good governance, and the voice of the voiceless in Nigeria.
Your Excellency, the President-elect, let me, on behalf of the government and people of Rivers State, most sincerely thank you, appreciate you for honoring our invitation. Let me tell you the flyovers. 1. Ormo Krusi, Limbu flyover, number what? 1. Rumoba flyover, number what? 2. Rumola flyover, number what? 3. GRA flyover, number what? 4. Rumo Kalabo flyover, number what? 5. Rabisi flyover, number what? 6. Ogunaba flyover, number what? 7. Mbolu Oro Work flyover, number what? 8. Ruma Picom flyover, number what? 9. Rumo Koro, Rumo Tama flyover, number what? 9. Mboba flyover, number what? 11. Rumo Kuta, Rumo Ona flyover, number what? Your Excellency, the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by the grace of God, the President of Nigeria, May 29, 2023.
Ism, I say thank you for your contribution to my victory. I couldn't have done it without some structural support. In His Excellency, I see a man of principle. He took a principled stand that the presidency must return to South. And he has the courage to stand by his convictions. I am a very happy man. Happy because I went through a gruesome campaign, fought hard, beat myself, supported by many of you, and I won. Fair and square. Governor of Rivers State.
Wike, that was yesterday. Then continued from today. I think we should listen to the other part of the convo before we go to the next thing. So this is Wike in his element. Baba, a lot of the people are actually waiting for what to go up when Tinubu, if Tinubu should give Wike Tambua treatment. See, aye, chai. Wike go run out of Nigeria. I'm not kidding, oh. So Tinubu has to give him something worth it. That is worth it. Or else, Wike, you no go see him again. You can bank on that. So Kalu, please continue.
Has no authority to offer and approve. There can only be one president at a time. I cannot commit to expenditure on behalf of outgoing president when my tenure has not started. Get educated. Be informed. Yes. really thank you for being my friend. I fulfilled the promise that I made to the people of Rivers State. And that's what I intend to do in all policy formations coming up. Promise Nigeria, the unity of this country is not negotiable. That's what is Wike and I are promoting jointly. I promise I'll be fair to all. To the magistrates, I say congratulations. This edifice from outside is so beautiful and gorgeous. Yes, you have new places, but the governor challenged the conscience of all of us. We have to change our culture of maintenance. That's a local issue, universally accepted. But we fight poverty, and we must fight it rigorously. Poverty of thinking, poverty of standard, poverty of reasoning. Like the version they gave in my story. Yes. Not poverty of thinking. I don't report with everybody or with people before I even assume office. But I speak my mind always. We are on the same platform. We must tolerate one another, live together. To the magistrates, it's left in your hand. To the judiciary, it's left in your hand. May God give you the will and the commitment to dispensation of justice for our society. The reform is on the way, and there will be hope that we will collaborate with you. I promise you my commitment to fulfill all political promises I made. I want to thank you very, very much. I enjoyed my visit. I thank